What I've tried to do in some of these videos is provide sort of an informal talk about some of the issues that I believe are most important in the types of cases that I handle: DUI, vehicular homicide, and serious injury by vehicle cases. These are not professionally produced videos. They're just me talking to you about important issues. One of the most important issues in these types of cases is actually dealing with and reaching out to the victims in the particular cases. At the end of the day, sentencing is obviously a very important part of all of these cases. And whether or not that involves an acquittal or whether or not it involves actually entering a plea to the charges, you need to make sure that at some point in time prior to that day, an effort has been made to reach out to and befriend the witnesses and the victims in the case, because they can make a tremendous difference in the outcome and the sentence that is imposed upon a person in these very volatile, very dangerous types of cases. One of the things that people commonly talk about is stages of grief, and I believe that that's an important consideration in sentencing and dealing with possible efforts to reach out to victims in a particular case. However, merely recognizing the stages of grief won't get you to the types of results that you want. Instead, you need to have a thought out mechanism for talking to victims and getting their input on cases. One of the things that people who are very knowledgeable about this subject have suggested is an idea or a model called restorative justice. And restorative justice is something that's discussed in the article here that I've written. And what it does is it tries to get input from both the victim and the alleged defendant in the case. That is, to have them sit down, talk about the events, and talk about what it would take in order to make that person whole. And a lot of times, simply by getting input from that person, having them discuss what went on, and having the actual defendant discuss what went on, that goes a long way towards making the person whole, to letting them know that your person is in fact a human, that they do care about what went on, and they're not just sitting there mute and acting indignant about this horrible tragedy that has occurred. So the article actually discusses it in greater length. I would encourage you to kind of dig into this idea of restorative justice, because I believe it is something that is very powerful and can help us in more effectively defending these cases from a holistic perspective from the beginning to the end.